Hello to everybody out there. We've got Theo here, we've got Kyriaki here, I'm Caroline. Welcome to Jolly HQ. It's really lovely to have you all here with us today for our first ever craft webinar. This is something new for us, so we're really keen to get all of your feedback, to get you joining in the chat, any comments you have, any questions, anything at all on what we're doing today. Please just drop us a line in the chat. Oh, it's popping up already.
We have India, we have Egypt, we have Vietnam, Australia. This is so exciting.
It is lovely.
We have participants from all over the world, and this is lovely to see. And thank you so much for joining us live for this webinar.
Thank you. So craft. We'll be popping some polls in the chat as well that you can answer just to help us with moving forward. If this goes well, we'll be doing lots more craft activities for you. So do join in. If a poll pops up, then join in and give us your answers because that will help us as well.
We can test with the first poll.
Should we do one now?
Yeah.
Let's do one now. We're quite keen to know if we've got teachers out there, parents out there, who you are. So do let us know.
So by the looks of it, we have
lots of teachers.
Many teachers, yeah.
And some parents, which is also important. Okay, thank you for that. Brilliant. Okay, so the thinking behind it today is that we're going to work on some craft activities. We're going to do a group activity that you can do if you're in the classroom or if you've got more than one child with you, and some individual activities that you might want to give just to one child. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to obviously teach you how to do that activity, but I'm also going to give just general tips along the way. Anything I can think of at the time, I will throw out there. Again, if you have a question about something I'm doing, please don't hesitate to ask. And because you've attended today, then we will send you a recording of this. So I can imagine what you're thinking. Oh no, I don't remember how you did that. Please don't worry, because we're recording and we will send it to you afterwards. So you can just sit back and relax with your cup of tea. Okay, so I need to introduce myself. I'm Caroline Petherbridge. If my name is familiar to you, it might be because you've got a few Jolly Phonics products at home. I am a primary school teacher initially. That's how I started. But I came on board with Jolly Learning and I wrote the grammar songs. So you might have seen my name there. I'm also the co-author, if I grab this, of the bumper book of Phonics Fun. That's something we should have asked, Theo. Who's got the bumper books of Phonics Fun at home? I'm interested to know if any of you have got it. If you have, let us know. Because I was a primary school teacher, I basically threw lots and lots of my ideas from my teaching years into this book. So it's packed full of craft, lots of things, but also lots of craft. What I'm doing today isn't in this book. It's new stuff, so you won't be doubling up on ideas if you have got this at home. Okay, we'll come back to the bumper book later. I've also worked for other educational companies. So two of the biggest things I've done probably, I was the content provider of creative projects for Scholastic. They used to publish magazines. Obviously, we don't get lots of published magazines anymore these days, do we? Which is a shame. But child education, so if you've got any of those at home, I know they used to go worldwide. I would provide and write creative projects for them. And I was also one of the main writers of the Tesco Eat Happy project, which is, Tesco is one of our biggest supermarkets here in the UK. And they did a worldwide eco-friendly activity where they wanted children to use materials that they'd salvaged to make craft activities. So I was one of the main writers of that. Now, I'm at Jolly and I'm here to share some crafting fun with you today. Now, we do want this to be fun. So hopefully it will be. Shall we get started?
Let's get started.
Yes. Okay. Now, today's theme is egg boxes. Now, did we tell them it was going to be egg boxes?
No.
We did tell them. This is good. Okay. Now, the first thing to talk about really is what type of egg box you can use. Now, in the old days, certainly when I was growing up, all egg boxes looked a bit like this. Okay. And you've got 6 separate sections, if you can see on the back there. Nowadays, a lot of egg boxes look like that, which is not so great for craft. If you can see here, these sections are joined together. So if you try and cut one section out, it doesn't work. Okay, so these are supermarket eggs. So my advice to you, if you're trying to find egg boxes to work with, is to go to these were from farm shops. I actually ordered a massive bulk, thousands of them, online actually on Amazon, but and they weren't very expensive either. But yeah, farm shops and things, they've not got labels on. That's what you need. Or craft shops tend to sell individual ones as well. So that's a possibility. So your egg box. Now, let me open it. What we're going to do, I'm going to very quickly explain to you about cutting them out. Don't waste anything. This is very important, especially when we're teaching children about the environment. So this tray, obviously you can use to make something else, but for today, when I've been making bits and pieces, I've been using them to put things in to dry. I've been using them to rest my brush in. Also, I've been using them to collect rubbish. So encourage your children to use these trays. Okay.
We have a question from Jane.
Yeah.
What about a tray for 36 eggs? Would that be
Absolutely.
useful at all,
Yes,
or?
yes. If you've got it again from a farm shop, yes, then you would have those large trays. As long as you've got to look on the bottom. So without tipping it upside down, obviously, but you need to see that these bits are self-contained, that they're not linked. That's what you need to look for. So don't buy anything without checking that. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is cut these individual portions out like that, and then I'm going to go through the middle again. Let's go this way, and I'm going to say, once you've cut one out, it's going to look a bit jaggedy and a bit messy. So I'm just getting used to where the cameras are here. Okay, now just a thought for going forward. If you're making something that you want to put on the wall afterwards, all right, we've got lots of teachers here. If you're making displays and you want to put it on the wall, I would suggest that you leave a little tag. I hope you can see that, and not cut that off, because when you've made something, you can then use that to clip it to the wall. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. But for today, we're not doing that, so I'm just going to cut round. So what I need to do is cut off all of these messy edges, like that. So you've got a nice, neat cup. Okay? And you can do that with all of your sections. Now, the first thing that we're going to make today, let's share this with you. Okay. I hope you like this. That's what I sat and made yesterday. I'm going to hold it near the camera. That's it. You need to turn it a bit. There we go. Okay, so it's a bouquet of flowers. Okay, we use 3 different colour paints. We've got some pipe cleaners there, and we've got a ribbon and some buttons. Everything I've made today is pretty much using the same materials, just to make it a bit easier for you. Okay. Okay, so let's pop that down here. So with my trusty helpers here, they're each going to paint.
Start cutting.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, you need to paint first, and obviously
we paint
because
first.
this is live, we've got to factor in a little bit of time for our paint to dry. So it may not be fully dry. Now I need you to do 3 each. Okay, so there's 3 for you, and there's
Yes,
3 for
thank
you.
you.
And if you can cut those out,
Yeah.
I've got scissors there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And while they're doing that, I'm going to show you the best way to paint these. So I've got my little cup that I've just cut out, and I'm using yellow here. Again, if we're talking about not wasting things, you can use these little cups to put your paint in for your children, if you would like to do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to squeeze some paint into this little cup. Oh, come out. There we go. Okay, so when I'm painting, you don't need to paint the top, because you're going to stick that later, and that helps you to have something to hold on to without getting your fingers all painty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the outside of the cup first. So the cup's upside down. I'm not going to do the top. I'm just going to go around the edge.
Is there going to be a certificate of attendance for this session?
Is
No, we weren't planning to send them up for this particular session.
Is that something people like? Do people like certificates of attendance?
Yes, so maybe that is something we could explore for one of our
Absolutely,
future sessions.
absolutely, most definitely. If that's what people like, then that's what we should give them, I think. There we are. So I've painted the outside of the cup, and now I'm going to go inside. I'm going to paint the bottom. The lovely thing about this is that it doesn't need to be neat. So children will love that. A bit more paint here. My yellow doesn't want to come out today.
Shall I put the colour?
You can use this.
So Caroline, do these
Yes.
have to be all even? Or
No,
it
they
doesn't,
don't,
It doesn't matter.
no.
They can be.
Just try and make the top a little bit level. That's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. But it really doesn't matter if it is. It really doesn't. There we go. Right, so my cup is now painted. There we are. Fabulous. Obviously, you can use any colours you want for this. And the egg box, because of the nature of the material it's made from, it does change the colour. So this was yellow, it now looks green. I discovered this yesterday. Okay, now I've got a couple that I painted a little bit earlier in the hope that they would be a little bit dry. Now, the cutting. Now, obviously, you're going to have some children who are good at cutting and some children who are still learning how to use your scissors. Okay, so there's 3 different ways that we can cut these. If you want it to be easy, literally just cut straight lines down to the middle of your cup, all the way round. They don't have to be even, like that. Okay, you can fan them out a little bit, and there you've got a flower. You're going to add something in the middle to make it more exciting. So that's the first way. So for children who aren't so great with the scissors, then nice and simple flowers there. Okay, so if you've got children who are a little bit more able, then again, cut round from the outside of the flower down to the middle, all the way round. I've never seen these two so quiet.
So
We're
actually,
enjoying,
it's
we're
actually
enjoying the
quite-
process.
They're actually quite hard to paint because it's a rough surface.
It's a rough surface. You
Yeah.
just
So,
need plenty of paint.
just need
Be
more paint,
generous.
yeah.
Be generous with the paint. Okay, so now I've got my sections here. What I'm going to do now is just round the edges off a little bit to make petals that are slightly rounder. But again, it doesn't have to be even. You can't really go wrong. Whatever the child does is going to look nice.
It's going to be a unique flower.
It is. Well, each flower will look slightly different.
Yeah.
So I've cut off all the corners on one side. Now I'm going to go the other way. Now, because these aren't quite dry yet, they might look a bit rough, but you get the gist. Okay, still cutting around.
There's a really good comment.
Yeah.
It would be nicer if, for next time, we would give an idea of the materials to prepare ahead.
But people
So,
want to make
so-
with us.
so-
Okay,
so-
with us. Okay,
Yeah,
great idea.
That's something that we can do.
yeah. So we could all.
Okay, so there you go.
doing the
So
same thing.
these petals now have a slight more shape because I've just cut the corners off. Hope you can see that there. Okay. And then my last cup, now this is still quite wet, so hopefully it will behave itself. I'm going to, again, snip from the edge down to the middle. There we go. And then I'm going to be quite brutal with my scissors on this one. And I'm going to cut the corners off to make triangles. I hope they can see that. There we are. So there's quite a lot of cutting going on here.
Sorry, I'll just.
Okay. You're being very generous with the paint there, Theo. There we are. Cut all the way round. Okay. And one more. There we are. So you can see I've made more triangular spikes on that one. There we go. Okay, so I have 3 different ones. Cut them however you like. Now to finish off the flower, do you know what I really love? Buttons. Never ever throw away a button. You know when you buy clothes and there's
We
always
have the spare button.
you have a spare button.
Yeah.
Just collect them. Just always collect them.
So how do you find these multicolored buttons?
Well,
mine are quite boring.
Buttons.
Which collection?
You need to think about the clothes you're buying, Theo. Obviously, you need to be buying some more colours here. Okay, but obviously craft shops. Now I bought a big bumper pack of buttons. Again, not very expensive. I love buttons. I've got a thing about them. Okay, so I'm going to pick a button. Contrasting colours is always good. So this looks green. So I'm going to pick a red because red and green are opposite each other on the colour spectrums. There we are. So I'm just going to use, now I've got PVA glue here. I would recommend that you don't try using Pritt sticks or those tube glues. They're just not, what we'll find is that things will drop off later. PVA, good old trusty PVA glue is always a good thing. So I'm just going to use a bit of that, put that there. And I'm going to stick my button in the middle of my flower there. Okay, now obviously with PVA glue, you can see white bits when it's wet, but when it dries, those are gone. So don't worry about that. Okay. Right, you can put the glue in the middle of the flower rather than on the button if that's easier for you. I'm going to pop an orange one in there. Very nice. And then I'm going to do one more. And I think I'm going to use something different. Let's see, what shall I use? Pink. It's a nice pink one. There we go. You just know with children that choosing the button is going to be the exciting part. Okay, so I have my 3 flowers. Now, while these guys are finishing off, Theo needs to practice with his painting, bless him. Although I think you might want to use my brush. Okay. So the background. Okay, so obviously you can use any card, any paper. You can colour it, you can paint it, or you can crayon it. I do like a textured paper. It just lifts everything off and looks nice. Now, Kyriaki, could you hold that near to the screen just so they can see? So this is a ridged paper. You can feel it, and it's got ridges all the way down it, which really gives a nice effect. But there are so many different kinds of paper that you can use. You can use crepe paper, obviously. You can glue tissue paper onto it. What I did do, because this ends up being quite heavy, I have literally just cut up an Amazon box and stuck it on the back just to secure it and make it nice and strong. Okay, so waste not, want not. Okay, so what I'm going to do when these guys have finished their flowers. Nearly there. Can we see that on the table? I think they can see that.
Yes.
Okay, is arrange. Now never glue anything until you've had a good old play around. Do you want to glue some buttons in?
Yeah, but
You can't do it. We'll just do it without cutting, I think, so that we can move on.
Okay.
Glue some buttons in so it looks nice. And I think we should have another poll now while we're waiting for things
let's go
to
for
dry.
it.
So what are we asking them?
Whether finding craft resources.
Right. So everything that we're talking about today, we've got buttons. Obviously, the egg boxes I've already spoken about. The other thing we're going to be using for this is pipe cleaners and a bit of ribbon and paper. So that's it. And I'm going to use these things to make other activities in a minute. But how easy or difficult do you find it getting hold of your resources? If you're teachers, you're probably ordering things through the school. But do your school let you purchase things like that, or do they give you an allowance for that sort of thing? Oh, and paints, obviously. I went to an art workshop once, and they were very, very big on only using primary colours with your paints, because it's almost a science lesson as well, teaching children how to mix colours to make the rest. So you shouldn't be buying pink and orange. You should be just having your basics
The primary colour.
and letting the children mix the colours themselves, because that's a whole extra learning activity. So I try to remember that and stick by that as much as I can. What
So-
are people saying?
So the most popular option is actually sometimes. So it's
Okay.
either no or sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we're in the UK, so we have a craft shop called Hobbycraft,
Yes.
which is very well stocked. But Amazon, to be honest with you, you can
Offers
get
a range of.
most things on there, and good prices. eBay as well. Do they have eBay around the world? They do, don't they?
Of course.
Annette writes that from Papua New Guinea, it's a problem. Remote areas of the country, it's
No,
it's
that
hard
makes
to
sense,
find.
yeah.
them.
Okay, so always
Materials.
use your imagination, because there are always other things you can use instead. I'm going to use pipe cleaners for the stems, but you could roll up paper. You could use straws. You could use tissue paper. Scrunch up little bits of tissue paper and stick those on to make a stem. Okay, so the stems. Now I'm going to show you this while we're waiting for their flowers. I think I used 2 and cut them in half. So I've got 2 pipe cleaners here, but again, as I say, you could use straws, anything long, rolled up paper. I'm going to put them in half
Just
and cut. There, so I've got 4 stems there. Now, if I just put them together at one end and twist like that, that will keep them together. And then I can fan out the rest of it. Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of ribbon. Now, if you again a craft shop or a dressmaking shop, even in the supermarket, you can get ribbon. This was only £1, this one, because it was just an off cut, an off piece, and that's always good to try and find bargains. So I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon here, like that. And I'm going to tie it. I'm not quite at the top where I've twisted them together, but I'm not far off. And I'm going to tie a bow around that. There we go. Now I might have done this one a bit short. This is going to be a small bow. Yeah, that's a bit short. I'm going to put another one on, make it a bit longer. See, it's good when things go wrong, because it shows you what not to do. So a bit longer piece. There we go. Done that much. Let's tie it round. There we go. And then I'm going to make a bow.
So my flowers are a good example of how not to do it.
This is not something you've done much before, is it, Theo?
No,
But you
no,
know,
not with flowers.
this is what I said to him. You know, if he can do it, then anyone can
Anyone
do
can
it.
do it, yeah.
Thank you, Carol.
That's so
right.
kind of you.
We are being encouraging here, because you know, this is like when you're teaching a group of children, they're going to have different skills. There we go. So I've tied my ribbon round, and there's my stems. Okay, so that's ready to stick on in a minute when we've arranged our flowers. Okay, any flowers ready?
Yeah.
Kyriaki, well done.
There's
Okay,
one.
so I would just arrange them first. Now, please bear in mind ours are still wet, so yours won't be, because you'll have more time.
You can take that one.
Okay. Oh, it's cute. Actually, I think we need some appreciation for Theo's flower. If you like Theo's flower, please tell us. Okay, he needs encouragement.
To make
Okay.
more flowers in the future.
Okay. I think we'll just use it as it is.
Yep.
Pop your buttons
can-
in.
yeah.
Pop your buttons in, and we'll use them as they are. Okay. So again, tell the children, arrange it, move them around, make it so that you're happy with it. There we are. Well done.
Yep.
That's a nice one.
So
See?
should you use more
That's a
glue
nice
or
one.
less glue? What would you
Just
say?
a drop of things.
I think that's fine as you've done it. You don't need too much. The PVA is is pretty good. It's pretty strong, actually. Again, I would leave the cutting now, and I would just stick the button in here.
So this would be asymmetrical.
He's a perfectionist, you know.
He is,
Asymmetrical forward.
That's okay. That's okay. Pop your button in, and then we'll have our collection. There we go. He's got a yellow button there.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Okay. Can just check that they can see what I'm doing. Can they see that I've arranged that? Is that
Yes,
clear?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think I'm happy with that. So I would then very quickly just glue them all down like that. And we don't need to do them all now. Okay. Just like that. Glue them down. Because you didn't put any paint on the bottom, it makes it very easy. There we go. We're not waiting for anything to dry. We're just popping them down.
We have a lovely comment from Jill. This is a lovely activity to use in family learning courses. Something grown-ups don't feel they're
That's
crafty
nice.
enough.
We ought to be
that's-
crafty.
That's
So,
nice.
This is something, this is something that doesn't really require experience.
It doesn't.
It
No.
is quite fun.
Just
You can do,
relaxing.
That's the point. But actually, the finished result
It's rewarding.
is lovely.
Yeah.
There we are. Now so on the back of my bow, I'm going to put some glue here, just on the top, not on the bottom. And I'm going to pop it in the middle, like that. There we go. There. Okay, so that does need to dry. And as I say, what I did with mine, I cut up a cardboard box to reinforce. But
So
there is our picture.
this took us like just under 20
Yeah,
minutes, I think, to
Not very long. Not
to
very
complete.
long.
So this is a very quick activity.
Okay, our craft. Now, if we just thank you, let's pop that down. Yeah. Okay, so now the next ones are literally really quick activities that you can do with individual children or groups of 2. So I'm going to show you these. Okay, do you want to hold them nearer?
Yes.
So I call them love bugs, but ladybirds, ladybugs. Can you see those?
That is so cute.
They are so cute and they're so easy to do. And that's what I love about craft. Simple, but effective, you see. This is the thing. Okay, so you can probably guess that we need 1 cup. Look, you've already got a cup.
Okay.
Aren't you
Like,
lucky?
like me.
Oh, I've got a couple of cups here. So there you are, one for you, Thea. So again, just you've got 1 egg cup, just trim it. There we go, just going to trim it nicely. Now this one's going to sit on the floor. So I do want to I want it to be a little bit even. So you can just look and think, oh, that is sticking up. I'm just going to trim that, make it so it's nice and flat. There we go, that's good. Now remember what I said, if you want to see making a display for this, if you've got a little display board, I would simply take some green paper, any sort of green paper, draw a quick leaf shape, cut it out, pin it to the wall, and then you can pin these on the leaf, which is a really nice thing to do. So just leave a little section on the side or on the bottom that you don't cut off, and then you can easily staple it in or pin it into the wall. Okay, right, so you need to paint it red.
What if we want to make a bee? Maybe would it work maybe yellow?
No, Theo, no, because that's the challenge for everybody later. You can't make a bee now.
I really
You're
spoiled
such a
it.
rogue, aren't you?
I really spoiled it.
He's a maverick. He wants to do his own thing. We need to keep him in check. Okay. So red paint. Now on this one, obviously you don't need to paint the inside, okay? Because we're just using the outside. So for this one, we are painting the top, and then we're going all around the edge. Should we have a poll while we're painting our red here?
Yeah.
I know it's what slows you down, but what should we ask?
Would you like to? Well, displaying craft activity.
Yes, well, I just mentioned display. As a teacher, as a class teacher, It was my favourite part of teaching, making displays, but I know not everybody feels like I do, and I know it can be really challenging. And if you're not particularly artistic, maybe you're more, sport-based or science-based, then it can be a real challenge making displays. And I know some schools put a lot of priority on displays as well. So I'm keen to know if displays are something that you would like to know more about, how to create a display with children's work, craft activities.
So far we have 90% of the audience voting in yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
the yes option.
Yeah. Okay, because that's something we can do in a future webinar, is we can make things and create a display live. Can you imagine?
Great idea.
Can you imagine that? That would be exciting. Right, now we need our red ones to dry. So remember, go back to the trays, pop them in your tray.
Yep.
And that will dry. And we're going to come back to those in a minute. I'm going to show you. Run out of time.
This is my favorite.
Is this your favourite?
Yes, please.
The caterpillar.
I wonder if all of you out there know the story of the very hungry caterpillar.
Can I give them a closer look?
Yeah. Now, these caterpillar, you can use any colours you like. Obviously, you can go for a standard caterpillar colour,
Yeah.
if there is such a thing as a standard caterpillar
Is
colour.
there?
Or I've gone for blue and 2 different types of green. Okay, so for this one, obviously you would cut down the middle of your egg box and use that portion. So shall we try that?
Yeah.
One each while our red is drying, and then we'll come back and finish those off. So now this was the one. Children might need help trimming this one because you don't want them to cut the individual pieces off. So be careful, just trim and go right up to the middle. Can you see?
Right up to the middle.
Right up to the middle there, but don't cut through the middle. You don't want the middle to fall off. If you can't see that closely, please tell me. And we'll...
Maria's asking if it's possible to receive step-by-step instructions later.
I can do that. Yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good sign because that means she likes the activity. So that's a good thing. Okay, right, so I am cutting around each piece, but keeping them joined together at all costs. There we go.
This could be part of a story set idea. That's one of the comments.
Yeah, I mean, if you do know the very hungry caterpillar, this is absolutely perfect for that. Yes, I agree. Aren't people clever coming up with good ideas?
Brainstorming.
It's lovely. Yeah, it's lovely. Oh, there's nothing better than teachers sharing ideas with each other. And parents too. Okay. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to paint mine because it'll be easier for me to show you them
That's good enough.
without. Yeah, that's very good, Theo. Well done. Okay, so as quickly as you can, 3 different colours on each cup. Okay. What I've used for now, this is the final thing that we're using today. Googly eyes. Okay. Now again, craft shops online, you can get these usually in different sizes. So I've got. Oh, sorry, I'm throwing eyes at you. There's lots of different sizes here. For the caterpillar, I've used nice big googly eyes. Okay, so googly eyes, and all you need to do is glue them to the front portion. And then we've got the antennae. Antennae, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
There are, yeah.
Okay, so again, I've gone back to my pipe cleaners, but you don't have to use pipe cleaners. Roll up some paper, use straws. So 2 small pieces, measure one against the other to make sure they're roughly the same size like that. And then just bend over the top so it sticks out a little bit. And one there. That's it. Okay. And then what you would do, rounded scissors, but make 2 little holes. What you can do is stick some blue tack or some plasticine or something like that underneath, so it's safe for the children. And then just make 2 little holes on the top of the first cup, like that. And then these will simply pop in like that. There, nice and straightforward. Okay. When you've painted it, let it dry, and then either using paint or using a strong felt tip pen. I have to say, I do love a Sharpie because they're so strong and they show through anything.
These are permanent markers, right?
These are permanent, so only give them to children when they've got their aprons on and your table is covered properly. Be aware. But they are nice and strong. But it doesn't have to be felt tip, because you can use your paint as well if you would like to. So I would just then, once it's painted, I would draw spots. Now, of course, the children can be imaginative here. It doesn't need to be spots.
They're always
Yeah, they can
stripes,
do
zigzags.
stripes, zigzags. They can really go to town and do any design that they like on these. And then, of course, they all look different. And how lovely would that be on a display with some leaves and trees or whatever, to pop these on the wall or on the top of a cupboard or something that you've covered with green. You could even go out on a nature walk, collect lots of twigs and leaves and things, and then display your caterpillars amongst them on top of a cupboard or a bookshelf or something like that. That would be nice. Thing is, children love bugs, mini beasts, don't they?
Yeah.
They do. And there is going to be a challenge for you. So I'm going to show you one more creature in a minute. But when we've finished today, obviously you can make these, and we'd love you to make these things. But also, do you know what else we would love? We would love you to use the concept.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You're fighting over the paint.
What a gentleman.
They're fighting over the paint, everybody. Use the concept of what we've done and make another creature. Now, Theo was like, oh, I could make a bee. Yeah, with very small adaptations, yes, you could make a bee. All you'd need to do is cut out a couple of yellow and black wings or whatever, or white
The
wings,
stripes,
and,
yeah.
and
The
paint
black
the stripes,
yeah.
and voila, you've got a bee.
And then you have already mascot.
Yeah, no, this is
jolly,
exactly the point.
jolly
Yes.
bee.
So we really, really want you to explore that, and anybody who shares something afterwards, I wonder if.
Surprise.
Yeah, well, we would love you to share them. Send us your pictures, pop them on social media. We're going to have a hashtag #JollyCraft. So if you make one of these that we've made today, or you make something new using the
Feel free to share
basic
with-
principles, just share a photo on our social media. What have we got? Facebook, Instagram,
Everything.
TikTok, Twitter, anything you like. LinkedIn.
Instagram.
And we're going to pick a winner, aren't we? We're going to pick.
Yes.
We're going to pick the one that we like the best, and we're going to give them.
What are we going to give them?
We're going to give them a free bumper book of phonics fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So hopefully, just the fact that you're even here means you're going to give one of these a go. So please share your photos with us, because that would make us happy.
Yeah.
Very, very happy, and there will be a winner. The last thing that I would do on here. You've got to imagine that I've painted these, okay? A splodge of glue and a lovely button on the top. There we go. I'm going to put another one here. There we go. I'm going to do a different colour. There. There we are, you see. I haven't put the eyes on, have I?
Cute.
How are you doing? Oh, see, Nathia, Kyriaki, you didn't listen.
I'm a bad student.
Right, spot the mistake. What has Kyriaki done? You see, she hasn't painted the top. Okay, so for this one, we need to paint the top. Okay, Theo, top marks, although you've missed a bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kind of hard to
okay,
get.
okay. I'm going to put the googly eyes on the front of mine. I don't think everyone wants to wait while we finish everything. So I'm going to stick one.
Fatima's asking a very good question.
Sure,
What are the
yes.
rules for winning? What are the criteria?
It's
How do you-
literally which one we like.
It's creativity, I
It's
guess.
yeah,
Creativity.
it's literally we're going to look at the photographs and the one that makes us go, oh
Wow,
wow,
say wow,
I love
yeah.
that. That's the one that's going to win. It's as simple as that, Fatima. Was that Fatima?
Yes.
Hello, Fatima. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. So imagine he's painted, but that's it really. That's aside from waiting for paint to dry. That's such a quick activity. Oh my goodness! Don't worry, it's not an earthquake. We're just things falling off the bookshelf. Okay, so that's our caterpillar. These two are
Yes.
still busy painting there, so they will finish theirs. I shall make sure of it. Okay, and then we've got one more. Do you want to show that one more time, just so that they've seen? Goodness, we're coming up to an hour.
Yeah.
So I would like to finish.
Could I just borrow this?
Yes, I would like to finish the ladybirds. So I think we should just show this one. I don't think we're going to have time to make him. Would you like to show him
Of
near the
course.
camera? So this is a tortoise / turtle. You turn him round. You can see that he is one egg box cup. He's got feet, pipe cleaners there that just, it's one pipe cleaner cut in half and stuck inside. He's got a pom-pom, again, another staple of the craft drawer, a little pom-pom and two googly eyes, and that is him. And then I painted him green, and then I, again, go a bit nearer. I just coloured in some brown splodges with my brown Sharpie on there, but that, again, that could have been paint. And we were thinking that if you were to use blues, so a blue pom-pom and paint in blue, he would be more turtle-like, wouldn't he? Is that right? No? But anyway, there's no rules to this because you can do any colour. You can do any colour you want. But I thought he was very, very cute. I like him. I'm going to keep him. So that's another example of a creature from an egg box that you can make. Shall we go back to our ladybirds and just
Yes.
finish them off?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're nearly dry, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our red cup here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a black felt tip.
Yeah.
Or black paint, but it's easier for us in this quickness to use black felt tip and just
Thank you.
draw some spots around him. There we go. Just a few. Do you remember the old thing we used to say at school that if you count the spots on a ladybird, that's how old they are? Did you ever say that?
No.
No, you didn't
It's
ever
first
say
time,
that?
No.
I'd love to know if anyone else has heard that, or is it just me being mad? But we used to count the spots on the ladybird,
Really?
and that would be how old the ladybird
Well.
was. Please tell me if you did that too. Okay. So I've done my spots. Now along the top, what I've got to do is pick my front. So you've got one side that's probably neater than the other side. So take that as your front, and along the top, draw a line down the middle.
Yes, we have one person, Lucy.
Lucy,
Lucy
thank
used to count the
goodness. Lucy, thank you.
You're not the only one.
I'm not completely mad, you see. Lucy backs me up.
Okay. Draw a
So
line.
I've just drawn a line along the top because ladybirds
Okay.
have that, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm showing my complete lack of knowledge about creatures today, aren't I? Okay, so then we need some pom-poms. So here's some pom-poms. So this isn't too big. Again, when you buy a pack of pom-poms, they come in all different sizes and
Okay.
colours. So I'm just going to put some glue on my pom-pom. There we are. And I'm going to remember where you chose the front. So look at the line you've drawn. And I'm going to stick him on there like that. Okay. Then I need my black pipe cleaner. So if you buy one pack of each of these things, you can make so many different things. Okay, and I'm going to cut 2 small pieces. Try and get them the same length. 1, 2. Here, use this one.
Okay.
We can actually get 3 ladybirds from 1 pipe
Okay.
cleaner. Okay, so for the antennae, just turn the top down like that. Okay, and then use the glue on the opposite side to the way that you turned the top down, and stick one either side of the pom-pom. Okay, so one that side and one that side. There we go. Now again, don't worry if the glue gets a bit messy. It looks white now, but when it dries, it won't. Okay, so don't worry about that. And then you're going to need, now this is fiddly. I warn you now, these little googly eyes, they are fiddly. It helps if you've got nails. I think you might struggle here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so I'm just going to put, and hope I don't ping it. When I was doing this yesterday, quite a few pinged across the room. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so there's one. We're all sharing one glue here. We're cooperating very well, aren't we?
Yep.
With one glue.
Doing quite well.
We are. And I'm going to put a bit of glue on that one. There we go. And there's my other eye. There we go. Okay, so there's my ladybird.
Okay.
There you go. And I think it's nice to have 2, especially at, I don't know, Valentine's Day. You have love bugs. You could cut a leaf in a heart shape, couldn't you?
I mean,
I'm being soft now. Theo's not even going to engage in that
opportunities
conversation.
for stories.
Yes.
I mean, they can interact.
Exactly. So I believe by the same author, Eric Carle, who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar, there is also The Bad-Tempered Ladybird, another great book by Eric Carle, worth noting there. Okay. I love the way Theo just wasn't going to engage with the love bug thing. Wasn't having any of that. Nothing to do with that. No. Okay. There we go. All right. So I think
No. Be kind.
I'm being kind.
Be
Kyriakin. Bless you.
look at my one. It's like a horror film.
Ooh,
Look
my
how
goodness.
terrible
No,
I
show
am.
yours, Theo. Show yours. Show yours.
Nice
with,
try.
without the googly
Yours
eyes
is
yet.
cute.
Cute.
Well done. That's lovely. Yeah.
Just
gonna
before
put
you
you-
stick the eyes on, they look quite
It looks
scary.
a bit
Yeah.
scary. Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Hours of fun. Okay. So I think we've pretty much.
Right.
We're not looking at yours. We're going to cover him over. There we go. Don't worry. Theo's is very good. Top mole is lovely.
Yeah, it does look quite cute.
Okay. I think that's probably all we've got time for today. So, do we want to do one more poll before we finish?
Yes, we can. We can.
Please let us know whether this was useful to you, whether you enjoyed it, what you'd like to see. Is there any particular craft activities that you would like? Any particular materials you want us to use? Any particular projects that you think would be useful? Anything at all, just let us know. We really want to hear from you.
And we really appreciate your feedback, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Feedback, please, definitely. And whether you want more, what are you asking now?
Gain ideas for teaching.
Would you
Craft-
like to
craft
get ideas?
activities,
Right,
yeah.
okay. So
So individual
Both.
activities, both. Yeah.
Both, okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
good to have a balance.
it is. So hopefully it's useful to do a group activity and some individuals
Yes.
in one session. Okay, and we
Yeah.
will bear in mind what you said about displays as well,
Yes.
and we will feed that in. Okay, so don't forget, #JollyCraft. Please make something from today, and you can make it your own.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick with what we've done. We're giving you the bare bones of the ideas.
Use your imagination to create.
Absolutely, go to town, or make it exactly as we did. We don't mind that either. That's absolutely
I tried
fine.
to.
Yes, or use what we've done to make a new creature. As long as it's got an egg box, we don't mind. Egg,
That's I think the only criteria is just to
Use
make
the
a
box.
Use the
creature
egg box.
using the materials we use
use.
here, but it can
Yes.
be as elaborate. So maybe use multiple egg
Absolutely.
boxes.
Absolutely.
See what you can do with many.
Absolutely that. Egg box is very good phonetically, I've got to say. So the point of the bumper book, I'm just going to come back to this for a minute. The point of this is that you're teaching phonics in a creative way, using the world around you. That was my passion for this book. So egg box is so beautifully phonetic. So you talk about these things, and as you're making them, all children, what words can we think of that we can, so bug, for example, anything that you can do when you are pom, that's another good one. You just chat, always chat, as we've done today when you're doing your craft. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant way of learning. It really is.
We have some wonderful comments.
Do we?
Yeah. So it seems like our audience actually enjoyed this.
I'm
this
so
little
glad.
session,
I'm so glad. I've never done anything like this before. I'll be honest with you. So this was a new thing for me, and I was not sure. So thank you. I'm so grateful to you all for coming and for your lovely comments. It means a great deal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll really enjoy it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, how
Thank you so much
lovely.
for tuning in
Thank
live,
you.
and we'll be sure to share the recording with you, and see
Yes.
you at our next sessions.
Yes.
Thank you
Because,
so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.